What's happening, YouTube? It's Jay. Welcome to the channel. It is questionable behavior. And listen, I've been watching some videos on the behavioral aspects of Diddy. And wow, it is incredible how stupid this dude is. So, what I think is that Diddy wants and always has wanted to be an entertainer. You know, Suge Knight hit the nail on the head at the Source Awards when all that beef was going down with the East Coast, West Coast about the producer wanting to be in the videos and be on camera and dancing and shucking and jiving and all that. And he really wasn't that talented at all. He was only there because he was the producer. I think he was really right, because if you watch some of these analyses of his facial gestures, his body language, his cadence, how he changes, and all of the things that they identify, it is incriminating. He incriminates himself. Yo, what you should have done is take the fifth. Say nothing. Shut up. Because you're not an actor. You're not an entertainer. You're not thinking about what you're saying before you say it. And it has got you in a world of ish. Straight up, you're done. And you did it to yourself. That's the crazy thing. Oh, people just don't know how to keep quiet sometimes. If you don't know what to say, don't say anything stupid. This other behaviorist breaks down him with Kevin Hart and Usher when he did the live video at his house trying to be who? You know, having these girls in the tub and he's having sex parties and you're putting it on camera? And then you're so high and drunk that you say things. I mean, the dude broke it down so specifically when he was talking about fighting with Usher over the cornflakes and his age and all that. I'll show it to you. But he hit the nail on the head like, dude, what was you doing to Usher? What did you do to the boy? And Usher, if you watch Usher's body language after Kevin Hart calls him out completely, Usher is just like kind of looking to the side and, you know, trying to smile and keep it real, but he just knew he had stepped in a world of stuff. I'm sorry, Diddy's a clown, and he always has been, you know, and I never really thought he was too tight, too thorough. None of that. He's trying to be something he's not, and that's where that violence came from. That violence came from his insecurity. Anybody questioning them, that, you know, extreme behavior came from insecurity, you know, because he can't never be wrong. He has to be seen some kind of way. Yo, man, don't be that way. Be real with yourself. Understand yourself. Know what you're capable of and what you need to improve on. I didn't say not capable of. I said improve on, because you can improve. He could improve, but you can't do it on substances. Your brain has to be clear. Your mind has to be focused. Yo, check out these videos.
I can dig
So
it.
you saying that's been the same bottle of effing for 2 years? That's
Oh
what you
no,
saying?
I don't even.
That bottle's empty.
Hey yo, only
Perfect example of when to just be quiet. If they're rambling all around you, just lay in the cut. Let them finish, and then think while they're talking. Think about what you want to say. Like, dude, shut up. Stop talking. You're not that smart. Not on the fly. You know, maybe you know how to do the music thing. You did all right with that. But stop trying to compete with everybody and say the thoroughest stuff, you know, and be the flyest dude. You can do that. But, you know, stay in your lane. You know, you ain't got the gift of gab like that. You trying to manufacture it. And guess what? You can get good at it, but you got to practice and you got to know when to just listen. Just listen. Whew, it's embarrassing. I feel bad for him. I do. Because I see the weaknesses that, unfortunately, he can't recognize, because he can turn it around. He's a smart dude. We can all turn it around. But you got to be like, you got to think about what you're doing. And too often, people just keep talking without thinking. Like, quiet.
thing I speak about is Ciroc, man.
guy's
You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean? I'm glad. You said it.
Yeah,
I'm saying we can't
hey,
sip
yo,
one bottle and have it here
I like, like to talk to my family. Y'all my family. I like to talk to. We on the same team. So I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just trying to get out here and hustle, man. I'm an entrepreneur,
You need
man.
to see more about it.
That's all. I just wanted to ask on air, on live, on Revolt. You know what I'm saying? We doing some business together. You know what I'm saying?
Cases or something.
I'm gonna send so many damn cases. You ain't have to say where, because I can understand people want to take the bottles. There's a lot of liquor up there they may not want to take home, but they want to take that Ciroc home, baby.
Now let's talk some hip hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
All right.
Okay, did you see the way his whole cadence and tone and behavior changed instantly because they're asking him about some scandalous stuff, and like we don't talk about nonsense. Man, answer the question. What'd you go on the show for if you wasn't going to answer his question? You knew they were going to answer the question, so you're going to sit there and play dumb, which makes you look even more guilty. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know what level of education. He didn't graduate from where? He went to Howard, didn't he? He obviously needed to stay, and get a bit more seasoned, educated, and the drugs, they mess your brain up. So his brain seems a little jacked up, at least in that situation. Or was he intoxicated? I don't know, nor do I care. I'm just highlighting the stupidity. Just be who you are. That's all you can be. You can only be who you are. If you don't have the capabilities to be the most brilliant one in the room, you can't try to be the most brilliant one in the room. Because then you're going to make yourself look small. Stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sometimes, like I keep saying it, it's hard to be quiet. Man, whatever.
Thank you.
And I saw you started the.
Puff is smooth with it.
That's all you got to do. Artists don't understand that.
People get upset about the question. You got to just say.
Oh, no. Hey, yo, I'm going to tell y'all this. This is very important. I got this new hashtag. It's called New Life. I got to start living it. I had to start living a new life, man. The way I was approaching things, the way I was reacting to things, you know what I'm saying? Just, we all grow up. We all do things in ways that maybe you could do better. And I'm just trying to figure out ways to do better. I know I'm in the public eye. I got to handle all types of different stuff. Y'all have a job to do. So, it ain't no problem, but I'm in control of what I say. And I don't get into nonsense. I don't have nothing but love for everybody. God sent me on this earth to give life, to inspire life, to only do things that are positive. Any negative things that I've done, that's the devil at work. And at the end of the day, the devil's a liar, and I can't feed into negativity or anything like that when I'm in control of myself. So I gotta always be trying to strive and to get better. So I really thank you. It's encouraging that you're saying that you feel like I'm reacting to things a little better, because I'm actually making an effort. And I want to tell people out there, like, you can change. You know what I'm saying? If you can change. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne has grown. Charlamagne has grown. I think we've all grown.
Yeah, a couple things you already covered. He's got a lot of illustrators going when he's doing this whole, he's doing a whole entertainer piece. He's loud, he's doing all that. And then when Charlamagne asks him the question about, now let's talk hip hop, he turns and he does some appearance enhancement. He licks his lips because he's thinking it's going to be hip hop talk, not, hey, did you pay to have somebody killed? The minute that happens, he uses, the only way I know how to describe this is he Cosby's. He does Bill Cosby to the letter. We don't talk about that. Remember Bill Cosby doing exactly that to control the situation. Doesn't make him look good. His cadence shifts. You hear a bump, bump, bump change. He goes to internal voice. You see him look down and to his left. He adapts to that pin to his face. And after he gets through the whole thing, guys, I rarely say something looks like Dupers to me. That looks like it to me. That quick, little turn to the side of the mouth when he says, as a journalist, boom. That to me just does not look good. Then he chaffs and redirects eloquently into how his life has gotten better. A person who's not guilty, we typically associate, look, we're not telling we can read minds. This is my opinion. If you didn't do anything, you sure need some help, because here's the key. You look for the world like you're hiding something. When you do all those things we just said, we talk about clusters, and Chase, I'm sure you'll go down the list of what's on your BTOE. But as we look at it, he's adapting. He shifts word patterns. He changes cadence. His voice gets lower. He goes to inner voice. He changes and gets away from it. Looks like dupers. And then he goes to insulate himself and take high ground or holy ground. All those things make you look, put it this way, if that happened in an interrogation room, it would be bare knuckles. I mean, we would go at it for a while voice-wise. I mean, when I say bare knuckles, I'm not talking about punch you, but it would be a rough ride in an interrogation room, because I would use every trick I know to get into your head to figure out what's going on. Those are really big red flags. Chase, what do you got?
So I'm just going to break down the narratives only in this. So just the narratives that he's using here. And I'm going to leave body language out of it. He says things, we're not going to talk about things that are nonsense. If it's someone else's fault, then maybe he can call it nonsense, and we'll see where he's going with that. And he says, I've got to start living a new life. And this is about a realization to become a new person who isn't doing bad stuff. And then he says, any negative things that I've done, that's the devil at work. This literally says that it's someone else's fault and not his. And this has started getting down a confession route here. This is like pre-confession language here, because they're showing you the pathway they need to hear to start making a confession. And he says the devil's a liar. So now the person or thing responsible for all of that bad behavior is deceptive, meaning he might have been tricked into doing what he did. So again, another layer of insulation to make it not his fault. Then he says, God sent me on this earth to give life, to inspire life. Looking at what he said and his desire to just live a new life, the opposite of this in his previous life would be taking life, or at least maybe having lives taken, which would literally be the second part of what he said, which was inspiring death instead of inspiring life, making something happen through someone else. And he says, I'm reacting to things a little better. I'll leave that up to you to understand what he's hinting at there. Then he's saying you can change. Not I changed, you can change. So this is all about the narrative of a character arc or a hero's journey, where if they decide to change, they're no longer responsible for things in their past. They're completely cleansed. Then he says, we've all grown. And then he says, this guy next to him has grown. He's socializing the issue, making it clear to you very covertly that other people have grown. But this also means that he's saying that lots of other people have done bad things and have grown out of the capacity to do them.
Okay, so these guys are no joke. I mean, you can't dispute that what they're sharing, their analysis of Diddy's behavior, what he's saying, and this guy is only going into exactly what he said. He's not going into his mannerisms, his body language, eye twitches, etc., etc. Yo, they're really, really good. And everything they're saying to me makes sense based upon everything that I'm looking at. So, wow. Isn't it important just to keep quiet sometime? Hey, maybe it'd have been better not to go on the Breakfast Club at all. Stupid. Okay, so I saved the best for last. This is an old video of Diddy, Kevin Hart, and Usher at Diddy's house having a sex party, for lack of a better way of explaining it. And girls in the bathtub and champagne and everything flowing around, basically just showing off, showing out, corny, fake, phony Diddy. I mean, it's just that simple to me. And basically the Philly brother, Kevin Hart, set it all straight and called him on that bullish. Come on, man, this dude is straight corny. And he was drunk or tipsy and didn't know what to say. Like he doesn't know what to say a lot. And again, he's not an entertainer, so he don't know when to shut the ish up. But anyway, so this dude, his name is Spidey Sense, Spider-Man, and he breaks down every single aspect of Diddy's behavior in that video. And it is shocking how detailed he gets with it, but he says in no uncertain terms, Diddy was hiding something big time. What'd you do to Usher? You know what I'm saying? And I heard some stories about Usher having to go to the emergency room and it was never confirmed. Yo, man. Dude is foul. And that industry is kind of like, whatever. Like if I'm Usher, I ain't at his party. If that's truly went down. So anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think, because this, to me, is undeniable.
Video. Now let's move on to this weird Kevin Hart, Usher, and Diddy video. So this is from a while ago, and the clip has surfaced, but there's very little context as to what is happening. But it seems like it's some event that Diddy was hosting, presumably, and Kevin Hart was kind of emceeing something with the cameras, maybe interviewing some guests. Not very sure. But there's an interaction on camera between Diddy, Usher, and Kevin Hart, and there is a lot of stuff going on with the behaviors. Take a look.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the f did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the frosted flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was f***ing stupid. Listen.
We're having a good time, yo. Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
Okay, so a lot going on there. I want to start with what happens right in the beginning, which relates very much to one of my favorite psychological guilt detecting techniques. So right in the beginning, he's talking and he goes, this is my brother right here. We used to wake up. Pause. And he kind of catches himself in that statement after saying we used to wake up.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out.
Now think about that. What he said there isn't that bad. It's not that guilty, because if I was talking and my brother was next to me and I would say to you, oh, me and my brother when we were little, we used to wake up and play video games together, nobody would think anything of that sentence. It's not what he said. It's the thought in his head that relates to what he said. So I love that technique, that kind of double entendre of having two different meanings to the same question that gets interpreted differently depending on the person's involvement. And that's exactly what this is. The statement is, we would wake up together. That's not incriminating. But because in his head, there might be some sketchy stuff that was happening around that time involving Usher, he feels the need to pause because what's in his head is guilty, not the words. Next, we get a classic example of psychological distancing. These are words that we use in order to make things seem less bad. And this was almost blatant because he goes, when he was 10 and I was a little bit older.
Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother.
So he's not using that number. He's using a word that makes it seem less bad, a little bit older, right? If I told you that my nephew is 10 years old and his friend is a little bit older, most of us would assume 11, 12, in this case, 19. That's how old Diddy would have been when Usher was 10. He would have been 19 years old. And I think he knows very well that a 19-year-old really has no business hanging out with a 10-year-old, which is why he softens it by going, and I was a little bit older. I think that's exactly what happened in this case. Because there's something incriminating in his head from that time in his life, his brain went to the polar opposite place. Having cereal in the morning. It's the most innocent, normal thing. So he's going there to try to balance out this weird dark thing that was in his head. So I think we saw all that in real time, right? We saw this thought enter his head. Then we go to something we talk about on the channel a lot, which is an increased cognitive load. When the brain is doing a lot, our words fall apart, right? So we hear what we call verbal leaks or speech disfluency because he's saying, damn, pause, like check this out. He's just stumbling. He's looking for those words. A lot of fluff here.
Pause, but like check this out.
Then we get that psychological distancing. When he was 10, I was a little bit older. And then we go to this innocent image of people just eating cereal. Nothing bad can happen when people are eating Frosted Flakes. So what's happening throughout this entire thing is Kevin Hart noticed that something bizarre is going on. And in that Kevin Hart way, with some humor, because it'd be really awkward if he was like, whoa, stop. What the hell are you talking about? He kind of calls them out, but he keeps it funny, keeps it light. Like, is anyone gonna acknowledge what the heck just happened? Because no one's gonna talk about this except for me. And at that moment, as Kevin Hart is calling out this awkwardness, look at what happens with Diddy. He takes notice of Kevin Hart, he perks up, and we see a seriousness in his face. It's not playful. It becomes playful, but at first, it's not playful. He's looking at Kevin Hart with a very serious tone, and he doesn't just nudge him or gently. He puts his arm around his neck, and he's got a fist, and he grapples him like this around the neck in a very controlling way. I mean, this is a very dominant position, and drags him off the camera. Because Kevin Hart is acknowledging the thing that he didn't want acknowledged, we're seeing this perk up, target, grab, and he even verbalizes it. He says, "Shut up, man," and he's literally trying to pull him off.
Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
But as Kevin Hart resists and comes back into frame, Diddy realizes that he couldn't get rid of him. He starts laughing.
Now, while Diddy is trying to clean up his mess by grabbing Kevin Hart around the neck, I need y'all to check out Usher. Look at him in the back. He's like getting embarrassed. He's like, this stupid, oh my God, like, why did I come here? Check it out. I just have to acknowledge when Diddy hooks Kevin around the neck and pulls him off, and Kevin goes, "That was stupid." That was classic.
Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
And what else does he do? He looks up and he looks around the room. Like, who else heard that? His mind is immediately going to reputation and social standing. So look, with the Ellen interview, I could ask myself, try to ignore what you know now. Was it obvious that something was going on? And I go back and forth with it. There are certain elements that are weird. But with this video, it's undoubtable. Like, there was something, and it's not obvious what it was. It's still not obvious exactly what it was, but some dark thought that he doesn't want to talk about, that he doesn't want coming to light, enters his head, and everything we see in this video is a result of that. And it's called out, and he doesn't like that at all.
Like I said, very questionable behavior. Diddy is, in my opinion, 99.9% guilty of everything that he's been accused of. I mean, come on, dude. Show some class, show some taste. Have the ability to adapt. Be smooth, cool, or at least try. If you can't, shut up. But don't go live. Don't go live. You're not ready for live. Not many people are ready for live. Being able to re-record is better for most folks because they don't always get it right the first time. Kevin Hart blows me away sometime with the way his brain thinks and how spontaneous he can be. He's a funny dude, man. And I'm so proud he's from Philadelphia. Here we go. Philadelphia mentality in the house. Kobe, Will kind of messed up. Me. With humility and gratefulness, y'all. Yeah. Whew. Interesting stuff. Really interesting. And this whole, psychological profile stuff has me extremely intrigued. It really does because it's so, thought-provoking. It's like deep because I believe it. I think it's true. What do you think? That's the question. Y'all gonna tell me what you think? Tell me what you think. Get back at me, man. I'm telling you. This is really, really good stuff. My name is Jay. The channel is Questionable Behavior. Please like, subscribe, and comment. See you soon.